You're a Christian. You can't judge me. It says it in the Bible. You ever had someone say that to you? You ever said that to a Christian you know? I'll give you another one for the church kids. Wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, I am with them. Okay, both of these are why context is so key. That last one is one of many I call bumper sticker Bible quotes. This one is used at the beginning of worship services to invite people into the presence of God. Would you believe me if I told you that the two phrases, judgment and 2 or 3 are gathered, are almost completely related? Let's dive into Matthew 7:1 to study the non-Christian's favorite Bible verse. Do not judge others, and you will not be judged. Pause this and comment why you think people who are not Christians love to quote this verse to Christians. Context matters. Who is Jesus speaking to here? Think about that. Jesus is giving this message to first century Israelites. He's not giving it to 21st century Christians or even followers of him. He is speaking to non-believers coming from mostly an Old Testament, ancient religious understanding. It was a system based on rules and regulations. So Jesus is trying to set up a new system where it's less about comparing yourself to others and more about comparing yourself to the standard of Jesus. He goes on in verse 2, you will be treated as you treat others. He addresses this again in verse 12 with what is known as the golden rule. Do to others how you want them to do to you. He describes this as the essence of the whole law and prophets. Now pause this and read through verses 3 through 5 for a nice visual example. You can't fix someone else's problem when you have a problem. Fix yourself first. But remember that this is not an instruction for non-believers. So if you are not a Christian, this is to you, not for you to throw back on Christians. That leads to the other phrase that comes from Matthew 18:15. If another believer sins against you. So, this is how to conduct yourself as the church, not the building, but as a community of believers. This gives you 3 layers on how to deal with calling out misconduct within the church. See if you can figure out the steps in verses 15 through 17. Take it to them directly. Take someone with you. Take it to the authorities. It's that simple, even though the actual process is not that simple. This is different than the judging that's talked about back in Matthew 7. This is keeping other Christians accountable to the beliefs and morals of the community. So go to them directly and give them an opportunity to change. If that doesn't work, bring someone else with you to express the seriousness of the situation. If they still don't respond, take it to the church as a whole. That's the last-ditch effort. If that doesn't work, don't consider them part of the community at all anymore. So the 2 or 3 that's in verse 20 is not talking about gathering for worship. It's talking about a Christian intervention. So what does this reveal about God or Jesus? He desires everyone to live in harmony. He doesn't want anyone calling anyone else out without first examining themselves. But at the same time, he wants his community of believers to keep each other accountable. So what does this mean for you? Know your role, know your place. Check yourself, keep others accountable. Be aware and honest of your own shortcomings before snapping at other people for their problems. If you're not a Christian, don't try to engage in the accountability part. If you are a Christian, go about it in the right way. But keep each other accountable to the standards and morals associated with following Jesus. Share this if you found this interesting and want someone else to see it. Subscribe to keep up with all the shorts and full episodes.